Welcome back to the Now Morning Show. On this International Women's Day episode, we start off featuring ladies in sport. In studio with us, we have Janae De Gannes, track and field athlete, to share a bit of her race to success in track and field. Good morning, Janae.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm okay, and you?
I'm well, thank you for asking. Thanks for joining us this morning.
Yes.
Now, tell us a little bit about how you got into track and field.
Well, I started track and field at the age of 6, and at the time, my auntie was looking for persons to compete in the Tobago zone, and she realized I wasn't paying attention in class. I was in second year at the time, and she took me out of class and allowed me to race with persons in my age group. And she realized I was winning, so she put me with older persons, and I ended up winning them as well. She said, okay, I'll let you win the go for the championship, the Victorious Lodurium in that age group. And she said, show me how to do long jump. So she put a paper and you can say run, jump, run, hit the board and jump. And from there, I just continued.
Wow.
You make it sound very easy.
know.
I'm so sorry. I feel like, I was just fidgeting. And really? It was that easy for you? So that auntie recognized the potential and harnessed it. But, I mean, at this little age of 6 or 3 or as long as you were, was it really something that you'd ever thought about doing? Were there athletes that you'd seen on television, perhaps, that inspired you at all?
Yes, Kellyanne Baptiste, she's from Tobago, so, we got the Tobagonian. So.
So that you wanted to be the next Kellyanne, or now the next Janae De Gannes.
Yes, the next.
Right, I like that energy. Let me ask then, because these early mornings are clearly your thing with the training, what was it like to balance school and navigating track and field?
Well, sometimes it can be a challenge, but, with the support of my family, they always encourage me to continue pushing, and me trusting in God and trusting in myself. I think that really helped me to balance both school and track. But, I mean, some athletes could agree with me that, it could be hard, balancing, because you have to see how you could manage your schoolwork and manage your track and field, because if you can't balance it, you could get depressed. So I think, let's shout out to my family for always having my back.
I think it's important to underscore that when we talk about track and field, it is literally both track and field athletics. You do the running, which is the track, and then, as you mentioned, the long jump and a few others, because you have quite a few titles under your name at the tender age of 17. So when you're talking about balance, technically it's 3.
Yeah.
Technically, yeah.
We have you for the long jump. You have titles in the 100 meter, 200 meter, and 400 meter. For the Carifta Games in 2023, you earned a silver medal, or 2 silver medals, one in long jump and then one for track as well. Commonwealth Games 2024, and then long jump again, you have silver under that one. NAC, look, listen, you have, and she just said like, jump over a piece of paper, balance your life, it's easy.
Now, you definitely make it look easy. Which would you say, if you had to choose a favorite, do you have a favorite between the track and the field?
Only 200 meters and the long jump, but I can't decide between both of them.
200 meters and the long. She still picked one for both either. All right, I hear you. And in that case, what is your training session like, particularly when it comes to track? There's a lot of mental preparation that we don't talk about with athletes. So tell me a little bit as to, well, maybe your family, your coach, your support system, and how you prepare for those games and athletics mentally.
Firstly, I always put God first in everything.
Amen.
And as I said, the support of my family, they always encourage me when I'm down. And so I just go with believing in myself, trusting in God and trusting in the process, and just staying patient, because sometimes, persons look at other persons achieving before them and think like, oh my gosh, how are I working so hard and that person is working as hard as, but just stay patient, because everything have their own season. As a mango tree have its own season, So just once you stay patient, trust yourself and trust the process and listen to your coaches and believe in God, everything is possible. So that's really how I go about everything.
Like continuous hard talking, like that's basically it. That's the core, at the core of it. But I noticed that you mentioned depression or even, being down altogether. And I wonder if that's a challenge that you've actually faced, is it?
Yep, I did, but, I overcome it, just, as I said, I just stay patient and just believe in myself, so.
Janae, one of the things that, of course, Ainka would have referenced is you're used to these early mornings, right? You're training, I assume you're training almost every single day. Is there a difference training for, let's say, games here, like how we had the Commonwealth Games here where you won, and heading to Grenada? Because I know you're going to Grenada, of course, for Easter weekend. Is the preparation different?
No, it's the same, every time you have competition, the coaches prepare you for that specific competition, so you'll be able to be ready. So that's how the coaches know.
across the
Yeah,
board.
yeah.
Interesting. Tell us something. I mean, you've started at 6, you're here now at 17 years old. Where do you think, or where do you want to be in the next 5 to 10 years?
Well, I want to be the first ever female from Trinidad to make 3 gold medals in the Olympics. I'm breaking the record.
Beautiful. That's beautiful. Why is it important as a female then to do that? Because I mean, obviously we've had males who've done medals like that. But let's talk about the comparison. We always do compare male accomplishments to female accomplishments. Do you think that the world of sport is perhaps even playing fields? Do you think that it can work out? We are just as even greater than men on the field. What are your thoughts there?
I believe as women we are strong. You know, we always say that sometimes we as people, women in sports have to compete even on our menstrual cycle, which sometimes can be a lot. And I think right now for track and field, we have a lot of young female athletes that are rising to the plate. I must call a shout out some of them: Alex Henry, Symphony Patrick, Akila Lewis, Reese. So some are just, I think for sports, for track and field, I think we looking good in the future. So you all look out for these athletes here.
I love your energy today. Like, it really is very inspiring to see young, accomplished persons not only continue along that line, but also recognize other peers that are equally as good as they are, and definitely be sound in yourselves. That sense of confidence, that sense of accomplishment. I'm really, really inspired by you. No mama
Thank
guy.
you.
No mama guy. When you hit me the mango tree, I was like, yep,
That's it. That's going to be a caption for the rest of the day. Janae, tell us something. I mean, you've touched on some issues that we don't necessarily hear. For example, being a woman, as you would have discussed with Ainka, going in, different physicalities you have to deal with. But one of the things that we definitely feel this morning is your confidence. Do you still get nervous before you go and compete, or was that never something you experienced?
All the time, all the time.
Really?
Yeah.
And how do you deal with that?
My coach told me that I feel more comfortable when I dance, so
See, bossa dance.
So you're a dancer.
yes, I do.
I'm tempted to ask you to dance on shows with a move. Damien hit my song, but okay, we'll allow it. And in that case, what would you want to leave with aspiring athletes, young and up-and-coming athletes who might be, well, may not have the ante to discover it, may not have the focus just yet, but thinking about winning those medals like you are?
My inspiring words for those athletes is going to trust in God, going to believe in yourself, and just stay patient. Once you stay patient, you know, you make it. Don't worry about that friend or worry about that or worry about anybody else. Worry about yourself and you'll be good. So trust in yourself.
Beautiful words from an incredible young lady joining us this morning to kick things off as we are observing International Women's Day here on the Now Morning Show. Janae, thank you very much for joining us. Thank you very much for doing us so proud. And best of luck as you get ready to head out to the Kirifta Games in Grenada for the Easter weekend, yes?
Yes.
Titles, and more titles. We'll check in with you after that. But for now, you guys check in with us after this commercial break as the Now International Women's Day episode continues after these messages.
This International Women's Day, the theme is inspiring inclusion, calling us to action to stand in solidarity. When women are discriminated against, we must call out poor practice. When the treatment of women is not equitable, we must take action. And we must do this each time, every time. Malala Yousafzai said there are 2 powers in the world. One is the sword and the other is the pen. There is a third power, stronger than both. That's of women. Inspire inclusion and keep the movement going by being present. Happy International Women's Day, from my heart to yours.
While she husband went outside and roam, since he beginning at